Another Saturday night, another Democratic debate, and the media didn't much care until Bernie Sanders fired a top staffer for improperly obtaining Hillary Clinton's voting data from the DNC and then sued the Democratic committee. ABC's David Muir raised the issue in the very first question last night, but the topic didn't last long.
Does Secretary Clinton deserve an apology tonight?
Yes, I apologize. Not only do I apologize to Secretary Clinton, and I hope we can work together on an independent investigation from day one, I want to apologize to my supporters.
I very much appreciate that comment, Bernie. It really is important that we go forward on this.
Betsy Woodruff, the press was treating this like a digital Watergate. In the old days, you broke into an actual office, but then Bernie apologizes, Hillary says, fine, we move on, and it's barely mentioned in today's papers. Why?
Well, I mean, because Bernie apologized and just totally shut it down. But on the other hand, though, he suspended 2 more campaign staffers. That's gotten attention. It's still going, and it really is a digital Watergate if it happened the way that the Clinton campaign says that it happened. So it's gotten some attention, but of course, the fact that they have these debates on Saturday at like 8:30 p.m. makes it so that it's just not going to get the attention that it should.
And, you know, the last Democratic debate was on CBS Saturday night. This one on ABC Saturday night. Now, I know the DNC would prefer this, and a lot of people think the DNC is protecting Hillary by keeping these debates out of regular prime time. But the networks don't have to go along, and maybe they are don't think there's much ratings in this or don't want to put Hillary Clinton in the spotlight.
Well, it's a chicken and egg question, right? Because they're getting bad ratings because they're on at times that nobody can see them, and they're on at times that nobody can see them so that they get bad ratings.
But the networks make more money, lose more money if
Sure.
they preempt their primetime programming during the week for a debate.
It is also true that this is a really boring race. Right? I mean...
You came out and said it.
It is a boring race. It's boring. Hillary is the front runner by 1.5 miles. There are no great characters on the scale of Donald Trump. The Republicans are fun. They're exciting. And there are some Democrats who worry about that, who think that even if it's the case that this is the DNC trying to put a thumb on the scale by sheltering Hillary from attention, they're actually having the opposite effect because the Republicans get all the airtime, they get all the attention, and so voters are tuning in to a degree not seen in previous presidential campaigns at this early stage. And so what you're really doing is just making Hillary disappear, and she's pretty good at the debates.
You know, that's
She's
always
pretty good at disappearing, too.
But so some journalists say, you know, boring race, it's, you know, Hillary's obviously going to win, right, so why should we cover it intensively? And a lot of other people think, wait a second, Hillary Clinton has a shot at becoming the next president of the United States, and are the media, for this moment, collectively giving her a pass?
Well, I think to a certain degree, but I would have to put the blame on the DNC. And the chairwoman, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, came out this morning on CNN and basically said, well, it's really the networks that are pushing this, that these were the times and dates that we agreed to, which I don't know if that's absolutely true because they are part of that negotiation process.
I think there's plenty of blame to go around.
Absolutely.
How do you think that David Muir and Martha Raddatz did as moderators?
Well, I think Martha Raddatz was just was perfect. I mean, I really believe she just did a very strong job at being able to ask the tough questions. She was able to bring out, especially on the issue of ISIS and whether they would go in with ground troops or not. So I think she was very effective, and I think part of it is because she's on this on-the-ground sort of global correspondent as well. So
exactly, she has the foreign policy knowledge to drill down and challenge Hillary Clinton on some of these issues, Betsy.
I just take issue with the idea that this race doesn't deserve coverage because it's not exciting. I mean, the reality is Bernie Sanders has gotten more donations in the year before a presidential election than any other candidate in history. His base is extremely excited and energized. They want to read stories about him. They click stories about him. For reporters to ask like Bernie Sanders supporters or people who are curious about Bernie Sanders don't get to have a say in what we cover, and we should just ignore that block of folks. I think that's a mistake.
I got 10 seconds, but I think a lot of the press tuned off when Bernie, in that first debate, decided not to make an issue of Hillary Clinton's emails. People said he's not really running to knock her off.
Well, and that's the problem. And I do agree, we shouldn't be ignoring it. Absolutely not. But when Bernie backs off like that, he tiptoes up to the attack and then he backs off, it doesn't look like he's serious.
Well, he thinks the media want a food fight. All right, Molly Ball, Betsy Woodruff, Mercedes Schlapp, thanks very much.